In a world where influence is measured in billions and headlines, two names rise above the rest. George Soros, a master of global finance and philanthropy, and Elon Musk, visionary reshaping entire industries. Together, their combined influence spans the globe, with wealth that exceeds $300 billion. But what if these two powerful figures aren't as different as they seem? What if in the battle for shaping the future, Elon Musk is the George Soros of the right? Music swells, fades out. This isn't just a story of contrasting ideologies. It's about two individuals who don't just follow trends, they create them. In this journey, we'll explore the philosophies, strategies, and bold moves that define these titans of influence, showing how, despite their differences, they both share a remarkable ability to alter the course of history. Stay tuned. This is more than a comparison. It's a deep dive into the minds of two of the most controversial figures of our time. To understand why Elon Musk is often likened to George Soros, it's essential to explore the foundations of their lives and careers, how their early experiences shaped their ideologies, ambitions, and eventual paths to global influence. Their stories are remarkably different in context, yet when examined closely, the parallels in their approaches to power, innovation, and societal change are undeniable. George Soros was born in 1930 in Budapest, Hungary, at a time when Europe was descending into chaos. His childhood was forever altered by the devastating impact of World War II. As a Jewish child in Nazi-occupied Hungary, Soros's early life was marked by fear, survival, and a constant awareness of the fragile nature of democracy and human rights. His family, who managed to escape the worst of the war's atrocities, instilled in him a deep sense of the injustices that could unfold in times of political and social instability. During the war, Soros witnessed firsthand the destruction and displacement caused by totalitarian regimes, a formative experience that shaped much of his worldview. After the war, Soros moved to England and then to the United States, where he attended the London School of Economics. It was here that Soros was introduced to the philosophical ideas of Karl Popper, particularly the concept of open societies, a vision of a world where governments were accountable to their people and individuals had the freedom to express themselves and act in accordance with their own beliefs. Soros took this philosophy to heart, becoming a staunch advocate for political freedom, transparency, and the promotion of democratic values. In the world of finance, Soros made his name with a series of brilliant and controversial moves. His deep understanding of global markets and human psychology made him one of the most successful investors of all time. His legendary 1992 bet against the British pound, which earned him over $1 billion, cemented his reputation as a financial genius. But what set Soros apart wasn't just his ability to make money. It was his commitment to using that wealth to fund causes aligned with his values. Through his Open Society foundations, Soros has donated billions to initiatives that promote human rights, democracy, public health, and education. Soros's approach to philanthropy is as bold as his approach to investing. He doesn't just write checks. He seeks to dismantle oppressive systems and fund movements that challenge entrenched power structures. His influence, both in the political and financial arenas, is unparalleled, though often divisive. Many admire his dedication to liberal causes, while others accuse him of using his wealth to manipulate political systems to his advantage. Elon Musk's journey, though set in a completely different context, mirrors Soros in some significant ways. Born in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa, Musk grew up under the harsh, segregated realities of apartheid. The political and social divisions in South Africa during the 1970s and 1980s had a profound effect on Musk, who witnessed the deep inequality and oppression that defined the regime. The sharp contrast between the world he was born into and the world he wanted to create ignited a fire within him. From a young age, Musk exhibited a relentless curiosity and drive for knowledge. He was fascinated by technology and space, often reading books on physics and engineering in his spare time. Despite his early interest in these subjects, Musk never sought to escape South Africa simply for personal gain. He wanted to change the world. His experiences growing up in a politically charged, segregated environment pushed him to think bigger and beyond the conventional. Musk's journey to becoming a global tech icon started with the founding of Zip2, a software company he sold to Compaq for $307 million. But it was his role as a co-founder of PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink that truly defined his legacy. With each new venture, Musk sought to not just create wealth, but to address some of the most pressing challenges facing humanity: sustainability, interplanetary exploration, and the future of artificial intelligence. Where Soros' primary focus is on political advocacy and creating open societies, Musk's focus is on revolutionizing industries through groundbreaking technologies. However, both men are driven by a desire to push the boundaries of what's possible. Musk's ventures aren't just about financial profit. They are deeply rooted in his vision for the future. Tesla's electric vehicles aim to reduce humanity's reliance on fossil fuels and combat climate change, while SpaceX is determined to make space travel accessible and even establish a human colony on Mars. Neuralink, meanwhile, seeks to enhance human cognition and bridge the gap between humans and machines, aiming to keep humanity ahead of the curve as artificial intelligence evolves. Musk's approach to wealth and power is notably different from Soros's. Soros has used his wealth to fund political campaigns, human rights initiatives, and policy reforms aimed at creating a more just and open world. Musk, on the other hand, often acts as a disruptor, using innovation and entrepreneurial ventures to challenge existing systems. However, like Soros, Musk also faces criticism for his immense influence. While Soros is often accused of manipulating politics from behind the scenes, Musk faces accusations of using his tech empire to shape public discourse, whether it's through his influence on social media, his role in advancing AI technologies, or his ability to steer markets with his company's successes. The connection between Soros and Musk becomes clearer when we look at their shared qualities. Both men are visionaries, both are willing to disrupt the status quo, and both have harnessed their wealth and influence to change the world in profound ways. Soros used his financial expertise to fund progressive movements, while Musk channels his entrepreneurial genius into industries that he believes will shape the future of humanity. Both men, despite coming from very different backgrounds and industries, are united by a similar ethos. They believe in the power of individual agency to make a difference on a global scale. So, what is it that ties these two men together? The answer lies in their shared ambition and their ability to transcend traditional boundaries. Soros is a financier and philanthropist who reshaped global politics and economics, while Musk is a tech entrepreneur whose companies are changing the way we think about the future. Yet, both operate as larger-than-life figures who refuse to accept the world as it is, choosing instead to actively shape the future according to their own visions. Now, we delve into the heart of the matter, the philosophies of power that define both George Soros and Elon Musk. While these two figures seem worlds apart, their approaches to power share striking similarities, albeit expressed through radically different means. To understand why, we must examine their underlying philosophies and how these beliefs shape their vision for the future. George Soros is most famously associated with his philosophy of open societies, a concept that he derived from the ideas of the philosopher Karl Popper. Popper's notion of an open society is grounded in the belief that societies must be open to change, free speech, and critical thinking in order to progress. For Soros, an open society means a world where individuals have the freedom to think independently, where governments are transparent and accountable, and where human rights are respected and upheld. The core of Soros' philosophy revolves around the idea that societies must remain adaptable, that systems of governance should be questioned and challenged, and that unchecked power, whether from government or corporations, leads to inequality and oppression. Through his open society foundations, Soros has poured billions into causes that align with this belief. These causes include the protection of democracy, the advancement of human rights, and the support of civil society organizations that hold governments accountable. His interventions range from funding democratic movements in Eastern Europe to advocating for greater transparency in global financial systems. His critics, however, often accuse him of blurring the line between philanthropy and political manipulation. They argue that his financial support of political campaigns, social movements, and policy reforms is more than just charitable. It's a means of shaping governance in ways that align with his own liberal values. In their view, Soros is not just a philanthropist, but a political operator who wields immense power behind the scenes, using his wealth to push for systemic change that suits his ideological beliefs. For Soros, power is not inherently bad. It's how that power is used that matters. He believes in leveraging financial and political influence to challenge authoritarian regimes, fight inequality, and create systems of governance that are open to criticism and reform. Soros sees himself as a global citizen, invested in the well-being of societies across the world. His belief in the power of the individual to shape the future of the world, as well as the importance of open, democratic systems, drives much of his work. Elon Musk, on the other hand, operates under an entirely different framework. Musk is often described as a technological libertarian, someone who believes in the power of technology to liberate individuals from the constraints of centralized authority. Musk's vision is one where individuals thrive, not under the heavy hand of government regulation, but through the empowerment of decentralized technologies that allow people to act independently of large institutions. For Musk, the answer to centralized power is not greater political intervention or systemic reform. It is the creation of new technologies that bypass the need for traditional systems of control altogether. Musk's companies, from Tesla to SpaceX to Starlink, all reflect this ethos. Tesla, for instance, is about decentralizing energy, creating electric vehicles and solar technologies that allow individuals to reduce their reliance on traditional, centralized energy grids. SpaceX's ultimate goal is to make humanity a multi-planetary species, allowing us to leave Earth behind if necessary, thereby sidestepping any political or societal constraints that might hold back the progress of civilization. And then there's Starlink, Musk's satellite internet service, which aims to provide uncensored, global internet access to regions where governments or corporations may otherwise control or block access. Musk's belief is that technology can free individuals from the constraints imposed by governments or large corporations, creating a world where individuals are empowered to thrive without interference. The contrast between Soros and Musk's approach to power is stark. Soros seeks to reshape existing systems of governance through political activism and systemic reform. He works within the current framework, using his wealth and influence to create political change, advocating for more transparent, open, and democratic societies. Musk, on the other hand, builds entirely new frameworks, whether it's through technological advancements that circumvent traditional power structures or by creating new industries that render old systems obsolete. Where Soros pushes for systemic change, Musk pushes for technological disruption that can potentially undermine the need for systemic reform altogether. Despite their differences, both Soros and Musk share a fundamental belief that concentrated power, whether governmental or corporate, should ultimately serve humanity. Soros, through his philanthropic efforts, strives to create systems of governance that are more responsive to the needs of individuals, while Musk seeks to create technologies that allow individuals to bypass existing systems of power. Both see concentrated power as a potential threat to individual freedom, and both believe that empowering individuals is the key to a better world. But where Soros believes that change can be achieved through systemic reform, Musk believes that technology is the key to disrupting and eventually replacing these systems altogether. Pause, reflective tone. Yet, both men invite criticism, and in many ways, their approaches to power reflect the paradox that accompanies great influence. For every admirer who praises Soros as a champion of democracy, there's a detractor who accuses him of undermining national sovereignty and meddling in the politics of other countries. Soros critics argue that by funding political campaigns, supporting civil society organizations, and even influencing global economic policies, he's effectively manipulating political outcomes in a way that serves his own interests, often at the expense of the people he claims to help. Similarly, for every fan who hails Musk as a visionary entrepreneur, there are critics who accuse him of monopolizing industries and consolidating power in a way that ultimately benefits only a select few. While Musk promotes the idea of decentralization, his ventures, such as Tesla's dominance in the electric vehicle market or SpaceX's near monopoly on private space travel, raise concerns about the growing power of one man and one company in shaping entire industries. Musk, for all his talk of liberating humanity, is not immune to accusations of fostering his own form of technological oligarchy, where his companies have a disproportionate influence on global markets and policies. Power, it seems, always comes with a paradox. Whether it's through political activism or technological innovation, both Soros and Musk are attempting to reshape the world in their own image. Soros believes in changing the world by working within the system, while Musk believes in changing the world by creating entirely new systems. But at the heart of both philosophies is the same desire to redistribute power from concentrated forces to individuals. However, in the process of challenging established systems, both men face the inevitable question: when does the fight for individual freedom and empowerment begin to look like the very concentration of power they claim to oppose? Now, let's explore the tools of influence that George Soros and Elon Musk wield with precision and power. These two men, despite their differences in background and approach, both understand the extraordinary potential of shaping the world through their respective spheres of influence. Their power isn't just about wealth or technical genius. It's about how they use their resources to steer public discourse, reshape industries, and influence global events. Soros and Musk, in their own ways, are masters of controlling narratives, but their methods and the costs associated with them are as different as the tools they employ. George Soros' influence is rooted in his unparalleled understanding of financial systems and his strategic use of capital. His wealth, amassed through years of successful investing, is channeled through philanthropy and global financial maneuvers. Soros made his name in the world of currency markets, famously betting against the British pound in 1992, a move that earned him $1 billion and cemented his reputation as a financial genius. But it wasn't just about making money. Soros uses the financial markets as instruments of political and social change. His interventions, particularly in Eastern Europe, have had far-reaching consequences. Through the Open Society Foundations, Soros has directed billions of dollars into promoting democracy, human rights, and the rule of law across the globe. He has funded grassroots movements in authoritarian regimes, supported educational initiatives, and backed organizations advocating for free speech and journalistic integrity. Soros' strategic approach to philanthropy is methodical and relentless. He understands the importance of investing not just in the immediate fight for social justice, but in the long-term structural changes necessary to reshape society. This is why his efforts often involve funding institutions and causes that can bring about lasting change. Whether it's supporting the democratic transition in Central and Eastern Europe after the fall of communism, or advocating for the reform of global financial systems to ensure greater transparency and accountability. His investments in media, education, and political advocacy are designed to create a more informed, open, and free society, one where individuals have the tools to challenge the status quo. However, this approach has made him a deeply polarizing figure. Critics argue that Soros' financial influence allows him to manipulate political outcomes in ways that undermine national sovereignty and erode public trust. His support of various political causes, especially those that advocate for progressive values, has led to accusations that he is trying to create a new world order, a vision of global governance that serves his ideological interests. To some, Soros represents the very idea of a shadowy puppet master, operating behind the scenes to shape global politics to his will. To others, he's a champion of democracy and human rights, using his wealth to challenge authoritarianism and ensure that the voices of the oppressed are heard. The debate surrounding Soros is often framed around the question of whether his influence is a force for good or a tool of manipulation. Elon Musk's influence, on the other hand, comes not from financial markets or philanthropy, but from his domination of technological industries. Musk's companies such as Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink aren't just innovative, they are transformative. Tesla isn't just an electric car company. It has become a cultural symbol of sustainability, innovation, and the future of transportation. Tesla's impact extends far beyond the car industry, as it has accelerated the global shift toward renewable energy and electric vehicles. Musk's vision for a sustainable future is one where fossil fuels are replaced with clean, renewable energy sources, and Tesla plays a key role in that transformation. Musk's influence in the energy sector has also expanded through SolarCity, a company focused on solar power solutions for homes and businesses. SpaceX, meanwhile, is not just a rocket company. It is a direct challenge to the monopoly of government space agencies like NASA. SpaceX's reusable rockets have revolutionized the cost and efficiency of space travel, and Musk's ultimate goal is to make humanity a multiplanetary species. By pushing the boundaries of what is possible in space exploration, Musk is reshaping the future of space travel and interplanetary colonization. Musk's belief in space exploration as a way to ensure the survival of humanity is a core part of his broader philosophical worldview. A worldview that sees technological innovation as the key to overcoming the limitations imposed by earthly institutions and systems. Musk's influence also extends to the realm of social media and public discourse. Musk's acquisition of Twitter, now X, in 2022 was a move that significantly expanded his control over one of the most important platforms for global communication. His presence on Twitter is undeniable. Musk uses the platform not just to communicate with his millions of followers, but to shape public opinion, influence markets, and challenge political leaders. Whether he's discussing the future of artificial intelligence, commenting on global events, or promoting his latest business ventures, Musk's tweets are often seen as a powerful tool for shaping narratives in real time. His ability to influence public discourse through Twitter, combined with his control over industries that shape the future, makes him a unique figure in the 21st century. At the heart of both Soros and Musk's influence is their understanding of the value of controlling narratives. In the 21st century, influence is not just about controlling assets. It's about controlling the stories that people believe. Soros, through his philanthropy, has invested heavily in media literacy and journalistic integrity. His Open Society foundations support independent media outlets and organizations that work to combat misinformation and promote transparency. For Soros, the story being told is just as important as the financial resources being allocated to causes. His belief in open societies requires a free and independent press, a media landscape that can hold governments accountable and ensure that the truth is accessible to all. Musk, on the other hand, directly controls a media platform, Twitter X, that has become one of the most influential communication tools in the world. Musk's control over Twitter gives him the ability to influence public opinion on a massive scale, shaping narratives in real time. From political discussions to social issues to business developments, Musk's tweets often set the agenda for global conversations. His platform allows him to amplify his ideas and challenge his critics. And in many ways, Twitter has become a megaphone for Musk's worldview. Through his posts, Musk can rally support for his ventures, engage with followers, and shape the public's perception of issues ranging from artificial intelligence to space exploration. Both Soros and Musk understand that influence in the modern world is as much about controlling the story as it is about controlling resources. The media and public discourse have become powerful tools for shaping opinions and driving change, and both men have harnessed these tools to advance their visions. But influence, as powerful as it may be, comes with a significant cost. Soros has been vilified by many for his perceived manipulation of political outcomes. His critics argue that his financial interventions in political campaigns and social movements amount to a form of soft power that undermines the democratic process. For every supporter who views Soros as a philanthropist working to make the world a better place, there's a detractor who believes that Soros is using his wealth to control governments and impose his progressive values on unwilling populations. This perception of Soros as a shadowy figure manipulating global events has made him a target of conspiracy theories, especially among those who oppose his political stances. Musk, too, faces criticism for the power he wields. His tweets often spark controversy, and his control over Twitter, X, has raised concerns about the platform's role in shaping public discourse. Musk's detractors accuse him of using the platform to amplify his personal views, spread misinformation, or suppress opposing opinions. His influence over the tech industry has also been called into question. with critics suggesting that his ventures, while transformative, may ultimately result in monopolies that concentrate power in the hands of a few. The question of whether Musk's influence is ultimately beneficial or harmful remains a topic of heated debate. In a polarized world, the line between influence and manipulation is razor thin. Both Soros and Musk use their influence to advance their personal visions of the future, but the question remains, at what cost? Both men have reshaped industries, challenged established systems, and shifted public discourse. But they have also faced backlash for their methods. Influence, it seems, comes with both tremendous power and significant responsibility. Whether it's through financial strategies or technological innovations, both Soros and Musk demonstrate that in the 21st century, the true power lies not just in what is controlled, but in the stories that are told. So, what does it mean to be the George Soros of the right? On a deeper level, it's about more than just aligning with political ideologies or shaping governance. It's about redefining the way individuals with vast resources use their influence to shape the world. George Soros reshaped the concept of philanthropy, proving that wealth could serve as a catalyst for systemic, large-scale change. His strategy wasn't just about charity, but about injecting capital into the very fabric of society, investing in institutions, movements, and ideas that could shift societal paradigms. Through his Open Society Foundations, Soros became a global agent of change, dedicating billions of dollars to the advancement of democracy, human rights, and justice. Soros demonstrated that even the most affluent individuals have the power and the moral responsibility to challenge entrenched systems of power and advocate for social and political reform on a global scale. Soros's legacy is undeniably tied to the idea of transforming institutions from within. He used his resources to support a broad range of causes, from advocating for open and transparent government systems to empowering grassroots movements in authoritarian countries. His support for civil rights, free press, and democratic governance around the world revolutionized how philanthropy could be used as a tool to advocate for social and political change. Yet, the most powerful aspect of his approach was his belief that structural change could only come through the modification of political and economic systems. A long-term vision aimed at making existing societies more just, free, and accountable. His legacy shows that billionaires, rather than being mere profiteers, can have a transformative role in society, and that immense wealth can be deployed for causes that benefit the greater good, at least from his perspective. Elon Musk, on the other hand, has been reshaping the landscape of influence for a different reason. Musk is doing for the right what Soros did for the left in terms of leveraging wealth, but instead of systemic political advocacy, Musk is focused on technological disruption and innovation. His contributions to electric vehicles, space exploration, and renewable energy are just the beginning of what he envisions as a broader, global shift in how humanity engages with technology, energy, and even our place in the universe. Through Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and other ventures, Musk has emerged as a visionary who believes that technology can transcend government and corporate control, providing individuals with the freedom to chart their own course. Musk is, in many ways, a direct counterpoint to Soros's political framework. Where Soros believes in using the existing systems of governance to create change, Musk is focused on creating entirely new systems, technological frameworks that bypass traditional power structures altogether. Musk's influence, however, isn't just tied to his technological ventures. It's also rooted in his role as a cultural icon. Through SpaceX, Musk is not merely launching rockets. He's setting the groundwork for humanity's interplanetary future, with the audacious goal of establishing a permanent, self-sustaining colony on Mars. This mission is not just about space exploration. It's a direct challenge to the very idea that Earth-bound institutions, governments, corporations, and regulatory bodies should be the final arbiters of human destiny. Musk's ambition is to free humanity from the constraints of Earth, to create a future where individuals can thrive not just within the confines of government or corporate structures, but beyond them. Musk is proving that innovation doesn't just reshape industries, it reshapes entire societies. Tesla, by introducing electric vehicles and reshaping the energy sector, has forced traditional automobile and energy companies to reconsider their business models. SpaceX's role in dramatically reducing the costs of space exploration is opening up the possibilities for private companies and even individuals to engage in space travel and exploration. Neuralink, with its focus on integrating brain-machine interfaces, could redefine what it means to be human in the 21st century. For Musk, technological innovation is not just about efficiency or profitability. It's about creating new frameworks that allow individuals to transcend traditional power structures. Musk's story is one of empowerment, empowering individuals through the freedom of technological advancement, where one person can, in theory, disrupt whole industries, create new markets, and ultimately redefine societal norms. Musk's ventures are aimed at creating autonomy for individuals, whether it's through electric cars that free people from fossil fuels, space programs that liberate us from the limitations of our planet, or neural technologies that could revolutionize human cognition and health. Musk's legacy, much like Soros's, will not just be in his innovations, but in the philosophical shift he is creating toward a future where the barriers to human potential are broken down by technology itself. Despite their different methods and ideologies, both Soros and Musk share a common trait. They embody the power of one individual to influence billions. Soros, through his financial strategy and philanthropic efforts, demonstrated that the wealth of one person could be used to advance an entire ideology, one that supported open societies, democracy, and human rights. Musk, on the other hand, shows that one person with vision and resources can use technology to create new possibilities for all of humanity, challenging established systems of power, and ultimately shifting the narrative from top-down governance to bottom-up empowerment. Both men, while polarizing figures, highlight an essential truth of the modern world. The future isn't shaped by governments or corporations alone. Sure, governments and large institutions wield enormous power, but in the digital age, individuals with ambition, vision, and innovation can reshape industries, challenge policies, and set the course for the future in ways that were previously unimaginable. The stories of Soros and Musk remind us that one person's vision, when backed by the right resources, can transcend boundaries, whether political, corporate, or even physical. Whether they are funding political campaigns or creating new industries, both men have demonstrated that the world is not solely shaped by the institutions in place, but by the visionaries who dare to challenge them. The central question, then, is not whether we agree or disagree with Soros and Musk, but what we learn from their stories. Whether you admire them for their visionary ideas or criticize them for their methods, there's no denying their impact. In a world that increasingly feels fragmented and polarized, Soros and Musk stand as symbols of a new era of power. One where individual visionaries, not just institutions, have the power to shape the future. In the end, perhaps the comparison between Soros and Musk isn't about politics or personalities. It's about the boundless possibilities of what happens when ambition meets opportunity. Soros and Musk remind us that in the 21st century, the true agents of change are not those who merely inherit power, but those who challenge the status quo and create new paradigms. Their legacies will continue to inspire those who believe that the future is not set in stone, but can be molded by the boldest among us. What is possible when individuals embrace their ambition, take risks, and dare to dream beyond the conventional boundaries of what's possible? That is the future Soros and Musk are forging. A future where the world isn't just shaped by governments and corporations, but by the visionaries who use their resources to reshape the very systems that govern our lives. If you found this journey into the minds of these two giants as fascinating as I did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more thought-provoking content, and share this video with anyone who loves a deep dive into the forces shaping our world. I want to hear from you. Let's keep this conversation going in the comments below. Who do you think wields more influence in today's world? The philanthropist, shaping society through systems and policy, or the technologist, redefining the very fabric of how we live and interact? Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and never stop questioning the status quo. Because the future, it's still being written, and it's up to visionaries like you and me to help shape it. See you soon.